Well, Justin Herbert, congratulations. You're coming down to LA. I've been trying to tell Mike and Ashley to get to LA for years, but they're going to follow you now down here. Got to ask first and foremost, when you heard your name, when you got a phone call, whatever happened, what went through your mind?
It all went by so fast. It was a blur. I saw the name pop up on my phone, and I immediately knew what was going on. And um, I didn't want to get too involved with the situation. I don't have any control over which team I went to, but secretly, I was really glad that this happened.
Secretly, so much so, we just saw an incredible photo of you with a bowl cut as a kid with a
Oh
Chargers
gosh.
shirt on. Were you always a Chargers fan, or is that just an awesome photo that we got to pull from the archives?
I mean, we were a Charger fans. I grew up watching the Dane Tomlinson, Philip Rivers, those guys, and even Drew Brees at a point. Um, but just being on the West Coast, Eugene doesn't have any pro sports team, so it's kind of just the Chargers, and that was kind of it for us.
Did it help that a guy named Dan Fouts was drafted by, even though they're in San Diego, the Chargers for you?
That did that was definitely a bonus, and it's been great to get to talk to him and to reach out to him, and um, it's been cool so far.
So dispel the rumor, if you can, when you did your one of probably many Zoom calls with the Chargers, they asked you a formation, you got it wrong. And did you call your agent and say, oh man, I got one of the questions wrong. I don't think they're going to draft me?
Yes. So they gave me a packet. They sent me a packet, and I had to study it and learn all the plays. And so they gave me probably 5 or 6 pages of plays. And so I went through that, and I memorized every single one. And I knew exactly what I was doing. But there was an example. There was an example on the side. It was like, this is an example of a formation. And I was like, an example. I'm not going to have to need to know that for the plays, especially not in the plays. And so I went into the meeting, and they're like, all right, draw this up. And I was like, that wasn't in the packet. And he's like, oh, okay. But it was. And so I missed it. And I told him after, I said, I'm so sorry. That's not like me. And I'll get it next time. And ended up calling my agents and telling them, I don't think I'm going to be a Charger after that, but I'm glad it's worked out.
Wow. So when they came up in the draft, you saw Tua get selected. Were you thinking, all right, I'll go to the next team that might need a quarterback?
I didn't know, to be honest. I was just sitting there watching and hoping my name would be called. And as soon as I saw Tom Telesco pop up on my phone, I knew exactly what was going on, and um, it was a great moment.
What are those moments like? Because Mike, Ashley, and I all dream of being like top 10 draft picks. Not going to happen. So help us out.
It was really cool. It would have been great to be in Vegas, but being in Eugene with my family, my two brothers, my parents, it was great, and just having them by my side, and especially in Eugene where I kind of grew up, it was pretty cool.
We saw a tweet from Jim Mastro saying they were staked outside of your house. Any truth to the Oregon staff being out there cheering for you?
Coach Cristobal, Coach Mastro were both out there. And so unfortunately I was stuck in media for a little bit. So they were out there for probably two hours. And so they stayed out there the entire time. And as soon as I was done, I went out there, gave them both a hug. And it was awesome to see those guys.
Did you have any idea that they would
No
be?
idea. No.
What does that say about those guys to come and pay that type of tribute? 2 hours just kicking it outside of your house in Eugene,
Yeah,
Oregon?
to wait outside my front yard for 2 hours. It meant a lot to me, and even more that they stuck around and I got to see them. So it was cool.
Wow. Would you have waited outside of like Marcus Mariota's apartment as a kid or Joey Harrington's for 2 hours to get like a hug from them?
Yeah, that would have been a little different though. I didn't really personally know them, so that probably would have been a little creepy, but probably would have tried if I known where they lived.
That is so true. But speaking of those guys, we were with you at the Rose Bowl, and you saw the message from Joey Harrington, and we watched you get emotional. You talked to us many times over your 4-year career about Marcus. Now here you are, another Oregon quarterback drafted very high in the National Football League. Do you feel that type of camaraderie in that group that you're a part of now?
It's gone by so fast, and I think that's one of the crazy things is I remember showing up in the first time at Oregon and kind of just taking some snaps and just being like, wow, these are the guys that I watched, and these are the guys that I grew up watching. And it's gone by so fast. And to be here, it's great. And going to the NFL is something I've always wanted to do. And to be in this opportunity, it doesn't get any better than that.
We go back to your freshman year. I was on your campus with Mike Yam, and we were allowed to interview the quarterbacks competing for the job. We sat down with 3 quarterbacks. None of them were you. You ended up starting midway through that year, and the rest is history. You think back, your freshman year to now. What are your thoughts?
I remember coming in and thinking, maybe play your junior year, get some mop up time and go play. And I mean, I was going to do my best and learn as much as I could, but I didn't realistically think I was going to take over and play immediately. And it's kind of been funny to see how that's changed. And um, like I kind of said, it's gone by so fast. It's been a whole blur, and some of the best memories of my life playing at Oregon, and really looking forward to the next step.
Speaking of the next step, what did coming back for your senior year do for you to prepare you for this next step to enter the National Football League?
Yeah, a whole bunch. I think that year was huge, and wanted to finish that year off with the seniors that we came in with, and wanted to be a better teammate, wanted to be a better quarterback, wanted to be a better leader. And these are all things that I feel firm that I fixed and I worked on, and feel so much more comfortable going into this next step now, and after going through this year and all the things I've learned, and just really fired up and excited for it.
So when you got a phone call from that organization, what did they tell you?
They said, "You're the guy. You're going to be a Charger, and we're really excited about it." And I said, "I am too. I'm fired up, and I can't wait to get down there. If I have to drive down there, I will."
Totally. Now, down here, we add the in front of every freeway. It's like the 405, the 5. So just want to give you a little advice as you come into Los Angeles.
I'll get used to it. I got to get my geography down there pretty good. So
speaking of Los Angeles, you've had a nice little run here in the last 12 months in the city. Played a pretty good game against USC, offensive MVP in the Rose Bowl. What are your thoughts about moving to one of the biggest media markets and biggest cities in the world?
It's been awesome. I was fortunate enough to have trained down there for 2 or 3 months a little bit ago, and I love the area. I love the weather. I love everything about Los Angeles, and so getting to spend some time down there was great, and I'm really looking forward to going back.
Yeah, we are looking forward to having you down here. Before we let you go, Oregon has played such a vital role in your life. You talked about the seats that you sat in as a child, of course, why you came back and what you just referenced in finishing. What would you want to tell Oregon fans as you enter the next phase of your career in life?
I just tell them thank you. Thanks for sticking with us through some pretty tough years. I know 4-8 wasn't easy on anyone, and sticking through 3 head coaches and a whole bunch of changes. They're pretty loyal, and they're in great hands. Coach Cristobal's got them, and they're going to play some pretty good football. They're really talented, and I'm really looking forward to watching these guys the next couple of years.
Yeah, Oregon known for the Cali flock, usually coming down to Southern California to bring guys up there. I think you're going to have to bring some fans, and I imagine they're not going to be convinced to come from Oregon and flock to the South for a little while, man.
I hope so. That'd be great.
I love it. Well, on behalf of everyone at our network and myself, it has been a joy to get to know you, watch you grow, watch your hair grow, watch your career grow. And you got a homemade meal anytime you want. You can come to our house. We got you here in LA.
We'll take you up on that.
Perfect. Justin Herbert, congratulations. Los Angeles Charger quarterback. Man, we're really proud of you.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys having me.
Got it.